Good morning, guys, and welcome to my kind of talk through situation here. I'm going to be doing a talk through video, just kind of a get ready with me video. I thought this morning I was kind of in the mood. I had a really good night's rest and I was like, you know what, let's just film a video as I do my makeup for the day. Not anything like specific. I'm kind of doing my everyday kind of look, and then I'm going to throw a little pop in there. So it's kind of like a neutral makeup look for people, and it's really easy. I think I always end up leaning back towards this makeup look because it's so easy for me. I am by no means an expert at this. I am, you know, I'm not a professional, but I guess you could call this a tutorial. And yeah, so this is my bare face right now. I know it's a scary sight to be seen, but you guys are seeing me in full action here. I haven't touched my face at all today. I just got out of the shower and did my hair. I washed my face with, if you're curious, I washed my face with Ginzing by Origins. I just absolutely love this cleanser. It says it's a refreshing scrub cleanser. Multitasking scrub cleanser instantly wakes up tired skin. So I like to use this on mornings when I do wash my face. I don't wash my face every single morning. I'll sometimes just wash it with water because I don't want it to be too harsh. My skin is really, really dry naturally. So to wash it every single morning and night, it will start to get really tight and just like doesn't, you know, I have like a lot of breakouts, and that's because my skin is dry, not oily at all. I don't have an oily skin whatsoever. I love this cleanser because it just makes my whole shower just smell like oranges, and oh my gosh, it just smells so good. If you guys could just take a whiff of that. I mean, wow. Yeah, that just smells really good. It really wakes me up in the mornings where I'm feeling really exhausted. And then for my hair, I just use this Brilliant Damage Control from Aveda to comb it out. I love to use this because it's a heat protectant, and it smells really good, and it prevents breakage and whatnot. And this is like the best detangler I've ever used. I swear by this product. I mean, I have already used like one of these and I'm almost done with the second one. So this is something I definitely go back to, and I will be getting another one. And then lastly, what I used on my hair today, I only have the little sample size with me. Unfortunately, I need to go buy one of the big ones because I just started using this. Sephora gave me a sample when I went in there to go get the Origins Ginseng Cleanser. They threw this in my bag, and I used this, and it is the Living Proof Style Lab Instant Texture Mist for multiple texturized styles to use on damp or dry hair. So I spray this on my hair when it's dry. This is just what like the tester kind of looks like. I don't know if you can see it that well. The reason why I love this is it just gives my hair so much body. Like today I just let it kind of air dry, and then I sprayed the texture mist in there and let that air dry, and then I just go in with really random pieces and just wand my hair in different directions, so it just kind of gives it some texture and body. I like it to look more messy than perfect. I really, really like this stuff. I think I'm gonna go buy a big bottle of it, and I went into Sephora yesterday to see how much it was, and I believe it's $26, and I almost got it, but I was asking her. She gave me another tester actually because I was like, I'm not fully sold on it yet, but I love it. And the reason, I mean, let's be honest, the reason why I love this product is the smell. This stuff smells so good. This is the best hair product smell I have ever smelled, if that makes sense. I fell in love. Like as soon as I sprayed this, I was like, is that this that I'm smelling, or is it from my perfume, or I don't even know what smell it is. It doesn't say it on the bottle, like the scent, but I asked her to find me like a perfume that smells like this because I would buy it, and she said the Marc Jacobs perfume, and she gave me a sample of it, and I don't think it smells like this at all, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. But I want to buy this and just spray it all over my body. This stuff smells just so good. Oh my gosh, I literally can't describe the smell to you, but it is just perfection. I'm really bad at describing smells, but just go to a Sephora and ask them for a sample of this and you will be in love. All right, so that's it for what I have done so far to myself, and let's get started on the actual look. Okay, so first I'm just gonna spray this Fix Plus all over my skin. I kind of spray a lot. because I think it smells really good and it just is so refreshing. I mean, wow, that is just like really wakes you up in the morning. The only downfall I have to say about this is the packaging. It's very cute, but the spray bottle is a little bit harsh, so I kind of have to hold it a little bit far from my skin because it's a little bit too like all over my face instead of just like a light mist. Second, I'm going to be using the Aveno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer with sunscreen. I am super fair, as you can see. I'm Irish, so I need to be using that SPF in there. And I saw this in, I think it was a magazine that I saw this moisturizer in. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try that because it was like a celebrity said that they used it. And I was like, I'll go try it out because I was out of my old moisturizer. And I really like super thick moisturizers because my skin is so dry, especially in my T-zone, which is kind of funny because it's complete opposite. You would think you would get oily in your T-zone, but I'm just an oddball. What can I say? And it's just really refreshing. It has a scent to it, but pretty much smells like lotion. It doesn't smell like anything else. Next, I'm going to be using the Prep and Prime Naturally Radiance MAC primer. I don't know if I believe in primers, but the only reason why I use this is it's the radiant one, so I feel like it adds more radiance to my skin because it's so dry, and it also adds a little bit more moisture. So with your primer, you just need to make sure that you really press it into the skin because it's not about rubbing it in, it's about pressing it into the skin, forming that base for your makeup to go on. And I really like to focus it on my T-zone because that's where makeup tends to just fall off because I'm so dry. And then I also put some on my eyelids so my eye makeup will last a little bit longer. So anyways, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is do my concealer. Like I said, I don't wear liquid foundation, so I like to start out with a concealer and then use my powder foundation over that. So I use 3 different concealers. I know I have an obsession with concealers. I just do. I love concealers and I love super bright under eyes. I love highlighting and contouring, and I just love concealers. So my absolute favorites right now, I'm using 2, but these ones I have to mix because I'm really in between them. I am using the MAC ProLong Wear Concealer in NW20 and NW15. NW20 is too dark and NW15 is just too white for me, so I'm having to mix the both of these together. And once I'm done with these, I think I'm going to try out a different concealer, so if you guys have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. I really appreciate that. These concealers I feel like just really last all day for me. I do about half a pump of each of them, and it takes some really getting used to use these pumps because when I first used it, I was just using way too much and I was wasting a lot of the product, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm really frustrated about is the pumps. You tend to waste a lot of it. With this concealer, I just put it on the back of like a hard surface, and then I just use my middle finger and really just kind of tap it under the eyes, and then I just kind of work it in a triangle under the eyes and kind of down, and just kind of cover any blotches I have and then bring it all the way back to the temples, because the last thing you want is those really white under eyes without it being blended out. So the best thing to do for that is bring it all the way back to the temple and then work it kind of down to around the nose area. So I really like this concealer. I feel like it gives me really good coverage, except for I do kind of feel like I have to do 2 layers of it, and I think that's because I'm just obsessed with concealer. I did recently try the NARS Creamy Concealer. I was not a fan at all. I know it's crazy because everyone says that they just love that concealer, and I've heard a lot of people say that they just are obsessed with it and they love it, but I was not a fan. I felt like it didn't give me coverage at all. It just kind of was a really weird texture to me and consistency, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, whereas this concealer is really creamy and just smooth and just moisturizing, whereas the other one I didn't feel like it was. So then I like to take, after I've done a little bit under the eyes, I take a little bit on my chin as well, because I like to bring everything together. So it's not just under the eyes, but it's all over the skin. And I do get a little bit of redness on my chin. I also get a little bit of redness right around my lip areas where I sometimes break out. I need to cover up those lovely little breakthroughs right now. Oh my goodness, I don't know what somebody is doing. It sounds like they're like playing drums or something. I have no idea. And then last I do it on those lovely spots on my forehead. Okay, once I feel like everything's pretty much covered, I go back in with my second concealer, and this is the Age Rewind concealer by Maybelline, and this is in the color Light Pale, and I feel like this is just a really nice brightener, and I surprisingly really like the felt tip of it. This has great coverage even by itself, the Maybelline, so if you're looking for something a little bit on the cheaper side, this is a drugstore concealer, and it gives great coverage. I mean, great coverage for being a drugstore concealer. Also, I use whatever's left on my finger and put it over my eyelid to cover any veins, and then also be kind of a primer for my eyeshadow. Alright, so to set that concealer and not allow it to move, I use my, I'm not going to show you the top because this is what I put all my concealers on. Wow, that's kind of gross. And I have Hit Pan, and I am almost done with this, and this is probably my third one that I've got. This is the Stay Matte powder by Rimmel, and this just is such an amazing powder. It lasts all day. It makes my concealer last all day, and then this is 003, which is natural. I use a really big brush to set my under eye concealer just because I feel like it covers more space, and I don't want to be wiping my under concealer. I want to be patting it. So you're wanting to pat the powder into the concealer to make it last longer, not be like wiping it under. Next, for foundation, I use the Aveda powder, and it comes like this. This is the color Aster 02, I believe, foundation. This is our powder foundation by Aveda, and I feel like this is just the most amazing coverage powder I've ever used. I just started wearing this about 2 months ago, I believe, and I like it because it has a really, really nice color range. So it matches perfectly to anybody. This foundation is really nice because it gives super good coverage and you don't feel it. It's so light on the skin. I never feel it throughout the day. It just is such an incredible foundation. I think that it gives the best coverage I've ever had in a foundation, and the fact that I don't even feel it on my skin is just such a bonus for me. Also, I'm just using the Real Techniques powder brush to put this on. Once you feel like that is all blended out, I move on to my bronzer. I love bronzers, and this has been a new one for me. I was in Ulta the other day, and I was like, this looks like a really nice color. It's just the Ulta Mineralized Bronzer, and if you can see, that's what it looks like. And it's a perfect brown. It's not shimmery, but it has a little bit of glow. It's not brown, it's not orange, it's not muddy. It just is perfect. I use this really small Eco Tools brush because I feel like it just is the perfect size to really get under the cheekbones there. And then you can kind of flatten it out to blend it as well. Again, I'm just doing it on the other side there. And I just really blend that down to the corner of the mouth, but you don't want to take it all the way down, but that's where you know where to contour. I then take my bronzer all the way up the sides of my temples, up my hairline, and I'm really just framing my face. I don't have anything I necessarily want to accentuate or don't want to accentuate. I'm just kind of giving myself a really nice natural looking glow. I also put some on my nose because I like it to look really natural, and that's where the sun would hit you naturally. I just kind of blend it down. And then I like to use a really glowy highlighter right now because I want to look really glowy since I'm so fair in the winter time. So I like to use this MAC Global Glow. I don't know if you can see just how gorgeous that is. It is such a beautiful highlight, kind of bronzy highlight. And I just kind of put this on the tops of my cheekbones, my forehead, down my nose, blend it. The only frustrating part about this is the packaging. just is horrible. I don't know who made this packaging for this particular line. I know that there's a couple packages like this, like eyeshadows and whatnot, but as you can see, there's no ridge for you to like grab it and open it. So it just is frustrating. It's just one of those things that's like, really, Mac, my morning doesn't need to be taken up by trying to open a bronzer. Okay, so next I'm gonna use my blush. I am using the Tessera blush by Aveda right now. I know I have a lot of Aveda stuff, but I just love them. This is a blush. I am pretty much out of it right now, as you can see, but that's because I love it. And I am just going to use that kind of plummy shade and just kind of put it right on the apples of my cheekbones right there. And just kind of blend it up. All right, when I feel like that's good, I don't like to be super pink for my blush, but I like to give like that nice like walked out in the cold look, I guess you could say. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I just use this Real Techniques brow brush that they have because it just makes life really easy. This is pretty boring, nothing in particular fun about this. I just fill in my brows. I just go through with a darker brow gel that's similar to the color of my brows. Okay, so now for eyes, the fun part. I'm going to be using on my lid Amber Rush 892 Infallable L'Oreal Paris eyeshadow. This is what the eyeshadow looks like. Unfortunately, it breaks up really easily in the pan. I just use my finger because that gets the best color payout for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over the lid, as so. Don't worry about making it perfect right now because we're gonna go back in and blend it out. I just love these Infallable eyeshadows. They literally do last all day long on my eyes. They're great. They're a very odd concept. It doesn't work with eyeshadow brushes. I find that you just have to use your finger to apply it. For my crease color, I am going to be using Allspice, which is an Aveda color, and it has such incredible color payout. You can make it darker or lighter. It's just up to you. I'm going to use an Aveda fluffy brush because the downfall with Aveda products is you really should be using their brushes to get the best color payout. And I feel like this tapered blending brush is just perfect. I could own a million of these. So I'm really just gonna start it on the outer corner of my eye and just kind of blend inwards, you can see. And this is just a really, really warm color. So it's not gonna be perfect at the beginning, but what you're gonna really be doing is just blending it out. So just really take your time blending that. Okay, now that that's all done, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit on the same brush. I'm just gonna look up and blend it on my lower lash line. I feel like this really brings the whole look together and can kind of just smoke it out a little bit more. You can make it a little bit darker or lighter depending on day or night. And this is just a really easy makeup look because you're only having to use 2 eyeshadows. They're not too expensive and it's just an easy look to kind of play around with. So once that is all blended out, I feel like it just really frames my eyes really nicely. I am going to go in with mascara. Right now I'm using 2 mascaras. I am using the Voluminous Miss Magna mascara by Maybelline, I believe, and Voluminous, wow, Voluminous Full Definition mascara by L'Oreal. Wow, I need to go back to preschool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use a regular old eyelash curler, and I just really pump the eyelashes with the eyelash curler a couple times. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Miss Magna first. Mascara just adds, sometimes I meet people that are like, oh, I don't wear mascara, and I'm like, hi guys, I'm so sorry my camera ended up dying and I didn't realize it. So just to finish off the look, I added a little bit more mascara on my top and lower lashes. And then I added this pop of red lipstick just to kind of bring that. I was like, you know what, I'm just going for it. I'm gonna take a risk today. I'm gonna do the red lip. And I believe this is Canna by Aveda color, and I just feel like their lipsticks last forever. So anyways, that is my natural look with a little bit of a pop at the end. So if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. And if there's any other makeup looks that you would like to see or anything else you want me to try out, or even any other non-makeup looks, other type of videos you want to see, please leave them in the comment section below. I do read those and I would love to see them. Alrighty, so have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you next time. Bye.